Welcome to Herdley, where books turn into 3 stories, refreshing your knowledge in minutes. Today, we listen to Peter McGraw's book, Solo: Building a Remarkable Life of Your Own, in which we probe into how embracing singlehood can lead to personal growth, freedom, and a fulfilled, unconventional life outside traditional norms. Dr. Peter McGraw is a bachelor, behavioral economist, and business school professor at the University of Colorado Boulder. Don't go away. Herdley, the editor, will be right back with the story. In this section, I'll share 3 compelling stories that illustrate the transformative power of embracing singlehood. First, we'll follow a woman who found her passion for adventure after a breakup. Then, we'll meet a man who discovered profound freedom in a life without romantic entanglements. Finally, we'll hear from a professional who redefined success beyond the conventional narrative of marriage and family. These stories highlight how stepping away from societal expectations can lead to personal growth and a more fulfilling life. After a decade-long relationship ended in heartbreak, Emma was left feeling lost and uncertain about her future. She had built her entire life around her partner's goals and desires, even moving across the country to support his career. Suddenly single, she realized she didn't know who she was outside of the relationship. As Emma describes it, it was like waking up from a long dream and not knowing where I was. But instead of wallowing in self-pity, Emma decided to embrace her newfound freedom. She took a leave of absence from her corporate job and booked a one-way ticket to Southeast Asia. She began a journey of self-discovery, traveling solo from country to country. She trekked through the dense jungles of Thailand, learned to scuba dive in the crystal-clear waters of Indonesia, and volunteered at an elephant sanctuary in Cambodia. Each new experience built her confidence and helped her reconnect with herself. "I was terrified at first," she says, "but being alone pushed me to my limits and beyond. I found strength I didn't know I had." Emma's adventures taught her that she didn't need a partner to feel complete or secure. Her self-reliance grew, and so did her appreciation for her own company. She returned home with a new perspective on life and a desire to continue exploring the world on her own terms. As Emma reflected on her journey, she realized, being single isn't a curse. It's an opportunity to truly understand yourself and what you want out of life. Inspired by her travels, she started a blog to share her experiences and encourage others to embrace their independence. Her story leads us to think about another individual who found liberation in singlehood, but in a very different way. While Emma found her freedom in adventure, James discovered his in simplicity. James was always seen as the black sheep of his family. While his siblings followed the traditional paths of marriage and children, James chose to remain single. He was often questioned and judged for his decision, but he remained steadfast in his choice. He preferred the quiet solitude of his home, the freedom to pursue his hobbies, and the peace that came without the complications of a romantic relationship. James was a painter, and his art was his passion. Living alone allowed him to dedicate himself entirely to his craft. "I don't have to compromise my time or space for anyone," he explained. "My life is mine, and so is my art." He spent his days painting, taking long walks to clear his mind, and meditating. The absence of a romantic partner gave him the mental space to delve deeper into his creativity and produce some of his most profound works. His paintings began to reflect a sense of freedom and introspection that was missing in his earlier pieces. Despite societal pressure to settle down, James found contentment in his solitude. His single life wasn't lonely, it was full of purpose and joy. He became a well-known local artist, and his paintings began to sell at higher prices. Yet, what mattered most to James wasn't the recognition, but the freedom to live authentically and pursue his passion without distractions. His story naturally flows into the next, where we see how professional fulfillment can be redefined outside the bounds of traditional success. Unlike James, who found joy in solitude and simplicity, Olivia redefined what it means to be successful in a world that often equates it with marriage and family. Olivia was a rising star in the world of finance. As she climbed the corporate ladder, she faced constant questions about her relationship status and future family plans. She was frequently told she would settle down eventually, but Olivia knew she had different priorities. "I didn't want to settle down. I wanted to soar," she recalled. Her career took her around the world, from New York to Tokyo to London. She thrived in the fast-paced environment and loved the challenges that came with her job. However, she also faced discrimination and skepticism because of her decision to remain single. Despite this, Olivia chose not to let societal expectations dictate her path. Instead, she created her own definition of success. "Success to me isn't a ring on my finger or a baby in a crib. It's the freedom to make my own choices and live my life to the fullest," she said. Olivia's unconventional path allowed her to explore new opportunities that might have been impossible if she had followed the traditional route. She launched a successful consultancy firm that helped other women break free from limiting beliefs about career and family. She became a mentor and advocate, showing others that there's no one right way to live a fulfilling life. Her firm has since grown into a global powerhouse, proving that a life without traditional attachments can be just as, if not more, rewarding. Olivia's journey teaches us about embracing singlehood as a form of empowerment, just as Emma and James did, albeit in different ways. As we reflect on these three stories, it becomes clear that choosing to be single isn't about rejecting love or companionship. It's about prioritizing one's own growth and happiness. For Emma, it was about discovering her strength through solo travel. For James, it was finding contentment in simplicity and creativity. And for Olivia, it was redefining success beyond societal expectations. Each of these individuals found a way to build a remarkable life on their own terms, illustrating that being single can be a powerful choice. By embracing singlehood, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities that are often overlooked in a society that prioritizes coupling. We can explore our passions, build our confidence, and create a life that is authentically ours. As the editor of Herdley, by understanding these stories, we can challenge the status quo, embrace our independence, and redefine what it means to live a fulfilled life. Embracing singlehood can indeed lead to personal growth, freedom, and a fulfilled, unconventional life. Throughout the stories we've explored, we've seen how individuals like Emma, James, and Olivia have transformed their lives by rejecting societal norms and choosing a path that aligns with their true selves. Their journeys illustrate the power of autonomy and self-discovery, proving that a single life can be just as rich and rewarding as a coupled one. Let's consider another inspiring example from the book. Mia, a software engineer in her 30s, was tired of being the only single person in her friend group. She often felt like the third wheel during social gatherings, constantly reminded of her single status. Instead of letting it get her down, Mia decided to turn her situation into an opportunity. She started hosting Solo Saturdays, a series of events where single people could gather, share experiences, and support each other. What began as a small meetup turned into a community of like-minded individuals who celebrated their independence and diverse paths. Mia's story is a powerful reminder that singlehood doesn't mean being alone. It's about building the life you want and finding your tribe. By embracing singlehood, we recognize that it is not a transitional state, but a valid choice that offers unique opportunities for personal growth and fulfillment. Through these stories, we learn that living independently allows us to explore our true potential and create a life that is truly ours.